welcome back after what was a very close first map with OT having to decide it. It's the polls that do actually come out taking their opponent's map choice, but I think as we've seen within this series so far, I don't think the maps necessarily matter too much, or who chose them at least. Like we saw yesterday, like although it was fairly dominant for Illuminar, I think it was an underperformance from Sprout more than anything. We've seen them beat them on this map before.
Yeah.
They now go into a map where they played each other multiple times. Like you may look at this and go, okay, well they won their opponent's map choice of Nuke. Sure, it was close, but they did look like the better side in a sense, I would say, considering they actually had to lose the comeback in a sense.
Yeah, also the fact that these teams have played each other so much and has played these maps against each other so many times online lately, so they know everything that's going on. So it all comes down to, in my opinion, in this matchup, the individuals, like who's going to step up, who's going to have a bad game. And that's going to be what kind of decides the whole thing, because these two teams are so close to each other at this current moment. And Sprout with their backs against the wall as we go onto the next map in this series. Just the map choice of Illuminar, as you said before.
I'm just watching Dennis try.
He's struggling with that.
He made the mistake, which I have definitely made before, where you try and take it over the top of your headset.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But there's a wire, so you then would have to trail it all the way over the wire, over the computer, and then out and past all the power cables through a wall, and then you would have it off. Or you can just unclip it, which is another option, which you were just going to check and try and be like, haha, I'm risk. That's stupid, Tom, but shut up.
Okay.
And yeah, it's one of those things where he needed to take everything off. But you know, we are going to be going into the second map. It is going to be Train. Map 2 is getting underway. And we are going to be kicking things off now with Sprout on the CT side. So they get the easiest start this time.
There we go. Smoke flashbang coming out. This is the perfect setup for the Ivy play. Faven coming in under a lot of stress. Dennis rotated in to help him. That's perfect rotation from the CT side. So far, nice strategical choices for both teams. Who will win the duels? It's going to be the CT side here.
Keto again. A strong start from him. Of course, the bomb being the first person through Ivy meant that there was absolutely no return from that point.
Yeah.
It was done. Like the second that bomb goes down, they have to go running through. They have to go fighting. And well, from that point onwards, it was just all of the duels going the way of the CT side. So a strong start for them, of course, after losing the first map. I think that's going to be important. If they can get off to a similar start that we saw from Illuminar in the last map, then who knows? Map 3 could definitely be on the cards.
Full eco for Illuminar right now. What you usually do in this round is just a throwaway. Just rush upper or lower into B, see if you can get the bomb down. They will be shut down now by Molotov, so not really going to get a big chance of doing that now. Have to reset, and then you can kind of use it as a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a timeout. Because the round itself it's not really worth much. Not really a lot you can do with 5 Glocks.
Well, it's not the weapon you have, it's how you use it.
No. No, Tom. That's not how it goes.
Well, at least mine isn't big and green. Either way. Faven, he's going to be there with the scout. Looking to try and do a bit of damage. The chance for the SMGs to really make some cash here as they all go running back around into Searson. Keto, well placed as well, and this is looking as easy as you like. Of course, this is the bonus round for Sprout, the chance for them to make the money, and now is where the challenge really begins.
Here we go. Gonna see what the T side has to offer, what they're gonna throw at us. Probably a couple of SGs in the full eco the round before. And a couple will actually be, not enough to describe it. 4 SGs, decent utility. So this is looking good for Illuminar money-wise. Sprout continuing on the MP7 and the Scout, so a bit of a bonus round for them. Searson has got the op though, and they have 4 pieces of Molotov, or incendiary if you will.
Aggressive peek from Searson. Be able to do anything on the start. Obviously having one of the premium weapons in this scenario.
Yeah.
Wanted to try and make something with it. Instead, well, he's handed it over to Faven.
It's a strange choice. It's not a wrong choice to go for an aggressive all peek down Ivy, but it's a strange choice to do that so early in the game when you have so little information of what kind of patterns the T-side throws away. But maybe he's played Train so much against Sprout that he feels like he knows or against Illuminar, that he feels like he knows exactly what they're going to do.
Well, this slow start from Illuminar has got them that opening pick. They're now going to set up their smokes to head in towards A. I wonder if that Battle of Pop is going to play a big part in this, though, because Mono's still around the area. In fact, it seems like the CT side are actually just opting to abandon it after the smoke goes down. A couple of counter nades expended into main to just try and deny the T's any further presence, but they are going to be making their way forward. Dennis takes a lot of damage, gets a kill, but still falls in return.
Unfortunate, but Fevin, not good enough with the AWP. Keto, though, doubles up. Will he get the triple onto Stomp as well? He will, Keto. What a play. 6-0 for him scoreboard-wise.
Yeah, again, it must be wonderful having him on your team, in all honesty. Like, he has been so good, so consistent all the way throughout the tournament. I'm pretty sure in that last map, like we were talking about him being around that 96 ADR mark. I think he finished with over 100 once again, even though they lost, which going into overtime again is massively impressive. He's kicked things off in this one with a ridiculous amount of damage once again. So in all honesty, it's pretty crazy how well he's been playing.
Despite losing, of course, in OT, Keto ended up with an ADR 103.2 and a 1.20 rating on Nuke.
The highest ADR, at least, within the server.
Yeah, that's insane. But that's what they were talking about on the desk as well. Like, it was going to be him, it had to be Surson, and in my opinion, it has to be the third rated player on Sprout, Faven, who has to step up. Dennis and Speedy are very experienced, but they're not going to be the guys who are on top of the scoreboard, or at least expected to be every single game.
It seems like we do have a bit of a pause coming in fairly early on within this match, but I think it's of a technical nature rather than anything else. Mono has turned into Darth Mono at this point in time. The hood is up.
He has his headset inside the hoodie.
Oh, I feel like it'd be a lot weirder if it was the other way around.
It's a powerful move, man. But you need a big hoodie for that.
It feels like you're a salesman for Illuminar.
Yeah.
If you would like a big hoodie, go to shop.illuminar.
This is the Nico, though, for Illuminar. Not going to have too much success in this one. Then he's just dancing around. See if he can find a frag, but will actually be taken out eventually.
It seems like at the moment, Sprout with the big plays, but do they have the big hoodies? That's the real question.
I don't know. I don't think they do. I only think they have the player shirts.
Slacking.
Yeah, surely they'll have a hoodie somewhere. It's probably back in Germany.
Left at home. Thought Atlanta would be a little bit warmer than it was. Although it's been nice today.
Usually Atlanta, I've been here a couple of times now, and one of the times it was ridiculously hot. Today has been fine, actually. Like a nice summer day in Denmark, 13 degrees Celsius.
No, well, it's not windy enough to be a summer day in Denmark.
It depends on where you are. But yeah, you're not wrong.
I actually went to Denmark with a full head of hair. And it was all
away,
blown away.
Innocent trying to blow us away now with Yeshi. Double frag for him. Third one coming up as well. He will. Innocent, great plays coming out of him in this bye round for both teams. Coming up with a huge play. Faven on the back line. Pressured from both angles. Has an idea that Stomp and the boys are going through.
Bomb has been planted.
2 ops in a 2v4. That should be a save from Sprout.
Yeah, and unless there were going to be massive mistakes made from Illuminar, there wasn't really a chance. But again, it seems to be that Innocent doesn't necessarily put up the highest numbers for Illuminar, but he seems to have the biggest impact plays. Like big clutches, big triple kills that give them around when they need it. We saw when it went into overtime in the last map, I think he started it with like 23, 22 kills, ended with 28. Like just had those moments when they needed him to step up, and again, gets them that first round on the board. And to be honest, on a map like Train, that could be the most difficult one to find. Like find the weakness within the defense. Of course, this time it wasn't really anything specific. It was just aggression that actually throws them off. Luckily though, with those 2 orbs being saved, money's not going to be a problem at all. The most expensive things are kept, and well, they'll just have to rebuy the parts in between.
Once again, we see like how the smokes work. If you stand in the middle of the smoke, you'll actually get a little bit of an advantage to the people who are standing on the edge of it, looking into it. And it's
exactly how smoke works in real life.
I haven't really stood inside a smoke grenade before in my lifetime. I have to be honest.
I do that on a daily basis. That's actually how
You
I
also
like
live in Ukraine, so
Okay.
like.
It's actually how I like to come home every day. I just throw a smoke down and just walk out of it. I am.
Ta-da!
I'm the world's worst magician. Throw down a smoke grenade. I appear. Still can't see you. It was worse the one day that I bought a flashbang instead.
Yeah, that doesn't work. That's a different show. Faven gonna try and lock down when the push comes in eventually. The bomb is dropped still at Ivy, so it could just be a bait setup, but with 3 players already down here, it's a long way to walk back. Innocent gonna pick up the bomb, and then they're gonna see if they can push through Ivy, take that duel. It has to be the op, in my opinion. It has to be Faven to look into this. And then the rotation coming in from the back line. Spitty. Here's something. Faven shot out. Nice frag from Innocent.
Timing from Innocent. It was so perfect, and he walks in and gets a second as well. Keto trapped.
Has been planted.
Wary the Mono, and that's the thing. So far, Mono hasn't done anything so much in terms of like doing a lot of damage, but he's just been irritating in the backlines of the team. They are at least going to be able to save, but again, it's a similar scenario to the previous round where there's not really anything positive coming out of this. Innocent again. That's his second triple quad even coming up from him.
What do you do against that? Like, he's on fire. He has an SG.
Nerf the SG. That's what you do about that.
But that's, we already know that song.
Just make it do like the damage of a PP visor.
You just need to tell Valve. Someone.
I mean, I do actually have Gabe's phone number.
Oh, that's good.
At least I think it was. I paid a lot of money on the internet to get it. I'm sure it's legit though.
Yeah, you're gonna have a surprise. Innocent starts the round off again. Get some more frags. We'll take some damage here. Rotating back. But this round should be no worries whatsoever for Illuminar.
Okay.
Oh.
This should be making a little bit of extra money, doing his best Esperanto impression with the Deagle. But Innocent's there to put him down. Looking for another triple, but Stomp's going to steal it away. And Illuminar get their third on the board, and on that T side, that's going to be so prominent for them. Even getting, again, if we talk about like 5 or 6 rounds, it's really not that bad of a T half, and with already half that.
Yeah. Like usually, if you know how to play the CT side of train, like you're good with 5, 6 rounds. Like you can work with that. 7, 8 rounds on the T side of train, you've done a tremendous job.
Utility is going to be the hit for Sprout, as they really do want to bring in this double op setup. Faven manning the secondary.
Triple nade for the server. Haven't seen that before.
It's not the most common spot played, mainly because of the risk behind it. But I guess in their minds, they're expecting something to need to change, maybe expecting their opponent to have lesser utility. So that can be a spot that's utilized. Just look to get a bit aggressive on Ivy. We've already seen Searson actually push all the way through there, like a round or 2 ago. So maybe just going off reads. I don't mind it, especially when, again, it's not a massive amount of utility lost with what they could have gained. And for the first time now, we're actually going to see Illuminar try and make their way in towards this B side. Spitty will spot out, but he's got no utility left. So all he can really do is call in a rotation. Still plenty of time for Illuminar to play with, and it will be Searson to throw down that remaining smoke, just to make sure that they can't go barreling to the site just yet. It's looking like they are just going to hit B with a late rotation wraparound from Reitz. Hoping to come in on the flank before rotation now in from that CT side. 3 players here already. Spitty, in fact, going to win the opening duel with Searson in the backlines to close out another, but Keto burns, and that gives the site over. Searson is going to have to come in from behind, and Reitz still battling on the A site. Was a little bit of a surprise for the remaining players. Searson, though, could do it on his own. He may not be expected this far forward, but after being spotted, Oscarish has a decent idea, and even trying to lurk his way back around, gives the information, finds the kill onto Dennis at the same time, and Illuminar win 4 back-to-back.
Honestly, that's unfortunate for Sprout, because they have 2 players rotated in towards the B bomb. So they have an AWP watching upper, they have a M4 or something in that category watching the lower position. They have the ideal setup to at least bring this down into a 1 or 2 man advantage if the T's get the bomb down, but yeah. In that post-plan scenario, like, the T's get the bomb down, and it's just not working out for Sprout. Interesting that they had such a good starting chance, and then it ends up so bad for them. We'll also force them onto an eco, so it's salt in the wounds right now for Sprout. Illuminar on 4 already on this T side. Pressure's on for the Germans.
Yeah, considering the start as well, it really couldn't have gone much better. Decent amount of money, the double up set up very early on in the map, and it's been dismantled multiple times now. I almost have to wonder if it might be better for Faven to just invest that extra money. Keto, here we go again. The Deeg just seems to be the weapon of choice for this man, and Innocent seems to be the anti-eco king. Just making sure that his team get through these rounds. No real risk of them losing it when he's around. And another triple kill for him. He really is flying high. $11,500 in the bank. So much money for the T side so early on within this map.
He doesn't even need the prize money. He's already got all that money in his account, Tom.
He's balling.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, well, the winner gets 50K.
Yeah.
He's already got more than the split would be.
Exactly.
So this is where you tap out. You're just like, all right.
Imagine if you
see
could
you guys.
Cash out for CSGO.
Yeah, but I have thought of a flaw in your plan. If nobody just kills each other and they just wait for it all and then they just leave. Both teams. You'd have to work together. Which,
to break the game.
Yeah, to break the system. And bankrupt DreamHack, which nobody wants to do.
No. That's not in anyone's interest. 5-4. As both teams are very keen on not giving away that first duel. So they're playing extremely patient right now. We're down to 110, and we haven't even seen a single point of damage being dealt yet. The T side are holding on to their utility, which is fine. And the CT side, they only have 2 smokes left. First bit of damage being done now onto Keto. I think, to be honest, this speaks in the favor of Illuminar. They have so many smokes left. The CT side correctly should have 1 on A and 1 on B, but it's a tough scenario.
Oh, Darth Mono definitely seeming to have a bit of a better performance than regular Mono. Which could be a big difference maker. You think about how close the last map was with him and Spiddy both underperforming. If he can have a much better performance here, it, if anything, should be a clean map. Faven hasn't been playing bad, but it's just like this AWP definitely hasn't done what the investment sort of suggests. It's going to be both players, though, hitting the shots this time. In fact, there's a triple AWP for the CT side. Only just noticed that Dennis even had one. They've gone full pug mode, and it seems to have worked out wonderfully. Innocent, the last one left, will go down, and hey, I can't say I like the setup, but it did work.
Yeah. Also, everyone just basically hit their shots. There was not a missed AWP shot in this round whatsoever for the CT side, so very nicely done from them, hitting all the individual points.
Now you rush B.
Well, let's wait and see.
If they've got 3 AWPs, just like
let's wait and see, Tom.
Blast into one of the sides.
No. This is not like level 8 matchmaking, and face it.
I think level 8 was kind. I don't know.
I try to be nice.
If you see that many AWPs, you want to pick up the pace a bit. You don't want to give these picks an opportunity. Innocent seems to be almost the feeler for this side at the moment. I think that's the first time we've actually seen Mono properly challenge Pop, so maybe conditioning Keto a little bit into thinking, okay, well, he's not actually going to push down here. And Oscarish has found another pick. These AWPs starting to fall. Faven with a nice shot, though, will keep this even for now.
Reed's actually pushing ahead of the smoke, which not really sure if I like. Oh, that's a nice frag coming up from Stomp. But Speedy with a big play here.
I don't know if he knows the second player on top of the train. He gets the kill anyway, though. A nice transition. Leaves Mono alone in the clutch. He's going to be looking for Spiddy, knowing he's around the angle. The player he doesn't know anything about is Searson, who's actually going to be rotating round. I think he's got the right position, but doesn't manage to connect the shot. Spot Speedy, but he hits the instant headshot. 4 kills for him, 6 HP remaining, and someone who was very quiet in the last map now comes up big for Sprout.
That's so close to Mono actually getting that clutch. I love the way that his crosshair was just perfectly aligned for that first kill, and then the second kill. He has kind of an idea that the player is hell, but there's no time. Speedy just connects almost instantly. Now a pause coming out. The first for Illuminar. The coach will have a say in the situation. Find out what's working, what's not.
Well, that's the thing. It seems like a lot of their playmaking has just come off the back of Innocent.
Yeah.
Like he's been just pushing aggressively out of T-mid and hasn't really done anything particularly special. He's just done very well with his timing. He's used the players pushing in other positions of the map to gain him a little bit of extra presence. But it's not something that you can necessarily rely on throughout the map. There needs to be a level of differentiation for this Illuminar side, and they are just going to go back to doing exactly the same thing.
Let's see if it changes throughout the round, if there's a different mid-round call. Looks like the same default stomp, getting the chance. Could actually look like... okay, now Innocent is actually so far out, they might not do the B play after all. But yeah, they will go towards the toilet, so this should be the B play now. They were grouping up to look like it, and then all of a sudden Dennis peeks aggressively from upper B and gets a kill. And now that stopped them completely in their tracks, fearing every single angle. They have 2 smokes, so they can't get down, but already now 2 CTs on the bomb side. This is going to be incredibly hard for Illuminar.
Yeah, especially with Keto being able to get that quick rotation through the connector.
All right.
Although, Reese is going to get the open. Actually gets both players within a matter of seconds, and the trades still sit back with the T side able to get the bomb down. The 2 versus 2, not a lot of utility for either side, but Oscarish does have a Molotov for the flank. Well placed is Mono, and he now knows where Faven is, down to just 4 HP. Oscarish can do the work with a Tech 9, and Illuminar break back almost instantly. Only a couple of rounds able to be picked up. A 6th on the board on their T side. And the CT side finances are back in the dirt.
That was a rough one. Riot is basically allowed to get a double entry onto the speed bomb side, even though both CTs are actually correctly positioned. He still manages to get in and get that done. And the second they have that advantage, they have cleared the bomb side, they can just get it down. Very nicely done by Reed individually, but I feel like Sprout should have been able to do more in that situation, especially with the rotated players that they had at their disposal.
Illuminar. I do like they seem to be a team that even when they're winning situations, if they're close especially, they always take a moment, even if it is to just calm the storm or to come up with a new idea, or even just speak about the ideas. Okay, we won, but it was close. What went wrong in that scenario? What can we change to improve this? Of course, this round, the likelihood is there's not going to be too much coming up for Sprout. They've invested into a couple of Deagles, and I wouldn't be surprised if Keto's able to get one.
I was about to say, my prediction is that this round, Keto gets 2 kills with Deagle. I'm just saying that right now.
I think only 1. I believe in 1. Oh, almost caught. He's almost gone
maybe
in the first few
none
seconds.
of us will be right. Which happens a lot anyways.
Don't know what you mean.
Keto 58 HP. Has Dennis towards the connector. Has to hit the first shot cleanly, and he does. That's 1.
Stomps just burned all the way down. He sat there. It's always good to be right, isn't it, Risk? And you know.
P250 actually from position will have a chance. Okay. Already now, like, this is so close to being a good round. They just need to get the last 3 damage onto Stomp, but they won't. He's all the way back, and 2 kills though.
The Eco King.
Always getting 1 kill at least.
No, I mean Innocent. Innocent is always killing.
Yeah,
He's getting at least 2 kills in these anti-eco rounds just to make sure they get cleaned up. Pad those stats.
Yeah.
Get that rating up on HLTV.
14-9 right now. Might have actually been even more after this round, so 16-9. My bad. There we go.
Oh, the triple off setup's going to be coming in again for Sprout. Hey,
Nice little
Dennis
combination.
alongside the Molotov is going to be able to get that kill.
Yeah, the Molotov is put down and then he hits the leg shot afterwards, so it ends up being a kill. Speedy's taken out by Reeds, who's been allowed to push all the way in. Oh no, 10 HP survives that.
There's only the orbs remaining. It's just going to come down to pick play.
Yeah, if they can just go B now, that would be perfect.
Look at Citizen pushing. He's got to be careful. I don't know if he knows that there's already someone wrapped around behind him, but that player may not actually be looking in the right direction. I think he's going to be able to sneak past Reeds, who does actually check just a second later, and that's going to be the freebie kill for Searson. The problem is... Oh, he now knows as well. He's worked it out. The man's a genius. He knows that Reeds is behind him, may have heard him drop down just seconds before, and Mono already tagged up. It's a round for Sprout, a round for Searson more so. 3 kills coming up from him, and the playmaker for the team in that round.
Such a good timing play. Like, that was insane. The SG player Reeds, like, if any different timing, he would have just looked back and checked that, and the attempt would have been done. Like, Searson would have died before he could do anything. 7-7, still a great first half for Illuminar, we have to say. Usually, anything above 6 rounds is perfect as a T on train. Sprout should be able to get number 8 for them, though. If you look at the economy, look at the investment for Illuminar this round. Dennis in the smoke.
Oh, this is one of those moments. Oscar just wants
the knife
to kill.
Doesn't matter here.
Yeah, I think he just did it for safety reasons. Make sure he gets the kill. Retrieves a rifle. Stomp has managed to find another one, but the trade's in thick and fast. And it's left all onto Stomp, knowing where one of the players is, or seemingly hits the wallbang in the end. Keto only with an XM. Definitely not the ideal gun, but if he can get nice and close. Not going to get it. It's actually going to be the mini shotgun of the AWP, the close range weapon, but he can't hit the final shot. Faven will get him with the USP. The halftime is called. It's as close as can be. But Illuminar, they go on to that CT side. We'll be back after the break. Scoreline may be as close as it can be, but going into that T-side half, only winning by 1 round is going to be a tough ask for Sprout After already losing the first map to Illuminar, they could be going out of this tournament if they don't manage to turn this one around. A pistol round may be a win, or maybe a must win.
Smoke, or excuse me, Molotov for the back of 6. Not something we see a lot in pistol rounds, but flashbang timing coming out. Oh, Oscarish, huge from him, but immediately answers back.
How on earth is Innocent still alive? They don't even realize he gets away with 2 kills from the back corner, looking for that little bit more, and Faven just jump shots him. Finally closes out the man that should have been dead a long time ago. But after 2 of his teammates fall, and now Faven himself meets his doom, is left onto Spitty. A nice little one-tap to start things on the second one as well. Maybe only needs 1 bullet left in the clip to close this one out, but switches to the USP. Him versus Mono, the battle from the previous map that he wasn't able to win. He gets another chance and takes the 1v3 of the pistol round.
How is that allowed? Like those 2 first 1 bullet with the Glock, that was insane. Like you can't do anything against that. 1 bullet straight up from the Glock on medium to long range. That's such a gamble. Look at that. And then the second one.
Clean.
Crisp.
Didn't he have like a big play in the first half as well? And he doesn't have many kills, so it seems like it's just the impact plays coming out from Spitty at the moment.
Timeout taken as well.
We're saying that about Innocent, but it doesn't work so well when he's top fragging in the server.
That's true.
A similar scenario to what we saw from Illuminar, winning an important round. I think just giving themselves a moment to sort of settle back down.
Yeah.
Get that laser focus back after, and even a few smiles were cracked.
It's always nice to win a pistol round like that. Always get the hopes up. CT side will invest. It's going to be Deagle's armor and a scout on Stomp. T side on the other side. Look at the Sturson, 1500. Not investing into anything. Want to save up for that T side AWP. Just the wise choice in this situation. But this round is very equal, I feel like. Might even come down to the opening frag here. If Mono can land the first D, then the CT side will have a big shot. If he doesn't, then it's going to be Sprout with a chance. Good Molotov here, blocking them down, but Mono will die. Low HP on many Terrace players. Even more so now, Innocent hits the first one.
Yeah, this is falling apart. Innocent again. Mentioned him as the player that makes the big plays when they need it, already getting a couple of kills, and just look how low some of these players are. Keto getting aggressive, is able to get one. He's so low, and eventually Reitz is going to be able to close him out.
They don't know he's there.
Nice,
they have no idea.
Faven looking in the other direction, shots missed, but eventually he gets the kill, and Spitty, the 1 rifle left, but for some reason they face their backs, and again, this man is going to clutch things out for them, saving them for the 2nd time in 2 rounds.
It's almost like Sprout don't believe it either. Like, just the missed timing on the smoke onto the bomb, instead of going for the duel, and the player on lower not being ready for it. Despite Hangler having a great try in this round here. Great try from Illuminar. It's going to be the full eco. It's going to be the easier round for Sprout. We're going to see Surson on the AWP next round. But Innocent already out of the game.
Oh, that's just bad luck with timing. Mono looks away the second they run through. Reach is at least going to be able to make things that little bit more costly. But not anything more. A 4-round buffer. Bit of a lead, but now the buy comes in for the CT side.
This is the important one. Coming in for both teams. Gonna see the AWP on Surson. And I don't think there's going to be a CT side AWP. Actually, scratch that. Stomp is gone without utility. Well, 1 flashbang, so no smoke on him. So he has the AWP. The whole team actually in Illuminar lacking utility a bit.
Yeah, maybe worth noting as well that the last time they actually played this earlier in the tournament, it was actually 10 T-side rounds that came up for Illuminar. So yeah, they're really dominant on the T side. I did think that Molotov was just floating in the air. Not quite what you want to see.
So something's definitely not gone right here.
But yeah, it's one of those things where you go, okay, if I see a team where two teams play a map, and I see a team get 10 rounds on train,
Yeah.
on the T side at least, I normally expect that that team may have just had a bad day on that map, if it's one that you play. So going forward now, like, we've got to see whether or not Illuminar can actually back that up on the CT side. Now, you'd expect that they can, but with Sprout already into the lead, having a better performance than they did yesterday, they've had a couple of back-to-back clutches, which is definitely going to set them up momentum-wise, where Spiddy may start playing a little bit better, which I think has been needed throughout. Also, pump up some of the other players who've had to do a lot more of the heavy lifting. It's going to be interesting to see if they can now take this over the line, and then we have Mirage as the decider, which I think is honestly a 50-50 map. It's where Sprout have a better win percentage, but have played less maps, and it's really difficult to tell where that one will go. It's a coin flip, but I think that's pretty much where this series has actually gone. Like, we saw the predictions, like everybody sort of going for Illuminar, although technically Pimp was thrown in with Sprout, but I don't think it really is like one of those matchups where it's easy to predict the
No, I don't think either. We had a little bit of a server problem, but it looks like we're back on track.
On Dust 2.
Yeah, but that's just one command. And then eBot resetting the game, so that should not be more than 30, 45 seconds maybe.
Heard a minute in my ears. I think you're off.
Minute. Well, that's always, you always got to give like a little extra time, you know. Even though you could probably do it in 30, then say 45, and then 45. Gonna give him a minute.
Yeah, but either way, like what we've seen so far from either of these teams is going to be tough going forward, of course. Like, you'll go onto the other side of the bracket and face off against Crazy. I was speaking to Thomas quite a bit yesterday, and they seem very confident whoever they're going to match up against. Like,
I feel like they should be. Like, individually, I don't feel like there's any of these teams that should scare Crazy. I think both teams should scare them on the structure side of things, but individually, I think Crazy are fine in that matchup.
Yeah, I would say, though, that a lot of the time we see that it's the early battles that are actually deciding the majority of the rounds in these matches, and I think that's where Crazy will win most of those opening duels a lot of the time. I think their T sides definitely looked a bit more questionable, so maybe that'll be something that like both these teams will have to deal with. Like, okay, if we can shut down their T side, then we have a much better opportunity, but the other thing is map pool.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously the likelihood is either of these teams are going to have to face them on either Dust 2 or Mirage, and either way, I don't think they'll win that map. I think in a pure brawl sort of battle, it's going to be a tough one for them. We'll definitely need to see players like Stomp or Searson having a very good game, facing off against Otto, who...
Especially if Illuminar, because they insta-ban is Dust 2, so they're going to have to face them on Mirage.
And even though they do play a fair bit of Mirage, it's one of those maps that it's not... I wouldn't say it's one of their better ones necessarily.
I kind of feel like Sprout could take them on Dust 2, to be honest.
Well, Sprout could take...
Crazy.
On Dust 2, potentially. They do have a pretty decent win rate on Adchi, considering. But it's again...
But then again, it's probably against, like, lower tier teams. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess a lot of, like, both of the teams will play. Like, you'll see a lot of the statistics that come out for Crazy are on, like, MDL statistics and stuff like that. So
True.
There are some pretty damn good teams in MDL at the moment, though. Like Avantgarde in there.
European MDL.
Yeah. I don't. Well, I haven't looked. I think INTZ actually topped.
Yeah.
The other side of it. Of course, I think in playoffs they went into the lower bracket, but I think they got through anyway. So they look like they're doing pretty well at the moment anyway, and they have a definite possibility to challenge into like maybe NA Pro League next time, because some of the teams coming through relegation, I think INTZ could give a real run for their money. So definitely interesting to see where some of these teams can go. And that's normally the case. Like that's one of the things I personally love about Opens is a lot of the teams that you see rising to the top or rising up the rankings start here. Like this is what they go through, and that's why the whole tour is actually quite wonderful in a sense, because it now brings it all together.
Exactly.
And speaking of bringing it all together, the guys behind the scenes have clearly done the job. I know that Pimp was obviously back there fixing everything as well.
Good job.
You know, putting those muscles to work.
Yeah. Fixing all the cables. We're back.
Let's not give him that credit.
I feel like he...
I feel like if we have a plumbing problem, though, it'll be Rich. With that sort of mustache, I just feel like...
I would say we
he'd be
just
great
have to bring
or
Chad
handyman.
because he's actually a plumber. But maybe that would be too expensive to find in.
We'll just let Rich do it. We'll give him a go. If it doesn't work, then... Oh.
Keto on his way down. The Pop Dog Innocent on 1 HP and only 1 smoke remaining for the CT side with a minute to go, and Innocent is just worrying. He's throwing it now. So when we hit 45 seconds, Sprout will have free reign to do whatever they want. Stop, though, that's a big frag. Very important because they do not have the utility advantage, Illuminar, but now they have a 1-man advantage. Yes, Innocent is a 1 HP, but he's still alive. Can still be a nuisance.
Yeah, we've seen that already. Players on low HP able to do a hefty amount of damage. The air execute coming in. There is Innocent. At least managed to take one with him before he falls. How is Reed still alive? k1to given so many chances to finish him off, and instead it's left on to Searson. This may just be the 25-second save, but he's not going to be given the chance. Somehow, with no utility, all 4 players, excluding Innocent, who had 1 HP going into that, managed to survive.
I don't really understand that, how that can actually happen. And I think Sprout will sit back with the same kind of thought, like how on earth did they manage to do that? But then again, a lot of different chances for the T side to come in and get frags, but not really able to clutch it out and get the kill in the end. If you pull all of that together, then you have the round, and I think this is a good call to take a timeout after that, just to find out, okay, what went wrong. Because it might not have been the tactic that was a problem, it might have been a communications thing. And that can be sometimes like quicker to fix in these small types of timeout situations, when you don't have to like redraw the whole like map of everything what you do in the strat. Just
well, unless you are crazy, in which case you're literally telling Thomas what he's doing on the spot.
That is another thing. We're back in the game now, 11-8. Sprout still with an advantage rounds-wise, but most Counter-Strike fans will know that the CT side of Train is a bit stronger.
Especially when you consider the Spitty. And you're going to have a Deagle going into this round. Utility limitations are there as well on the CT side. They've come in with a double AWP setup. Mono tagged a little bit early on. It does seem like he's put into a lot of the tougher roles for this squad. That nade lands, and actually the second one does so much damage onto Faven. Drop down to just 20 HP. Innocent looking to get aggressive as well. Does a lot of damage, even gets the pick in the end. And of course, Spitty only with a Deag, but he will find the shot. Gets dinked up in return. And retrieves a weapon at least, so it is, I suppose, only the Deagle that's lost, but also the health of the opposing side.
Very low HP on the T side right now. Faven on 20, Speedy on 13. Might have a chance here in the boost position. But the CT's probably not going to move. Just trying to edge it out. That's Reed's full burn. Oh, he actually tries to go for the shot. Gets it in the end. Okay.
Yeah, that's the entry. Mono is going to have a lot to do now. Flashbang actually blinds up a teammate. Spray is wild, but he will get the kill on k1to at least. Rotation coming in. Not much utility, and in fact, they're not even going to bother with it.
Yeah, Mono should have gotten 2 frags there for them to be able to kind of attempt the retake. And you can see it also, like, he almost got like so focused in on they just walked past him that he wasn't able to control his spray. Like, there was too many targets. It was too easy almost. He got in his own head a little bit. That will be the save from the CT side. So Sprout allowed on 12, will survive with 3 weapons. Very nice for the economy, as we saw. If they lost this one, it wouldn't be the full eco for them. So that's very good for Sprout. Illuminar on the other side of things, with 2 weapons saved, they will be able to get a buy going around this, if they want to. They could also just buy Deagles around it and have a buy in the next one. That's up to the team now to decide. I would probably go for the Deagles, but that's just my opinion.
Some dirty Deags.
You know it.
Again, though, this is a situation where things can easily slip out of control.
Well, actually had a bit more money than I suspected. Never mind then. Go for the full buy, boys.
Unable to keep the secondary AWP in play, but it's picked off. No real impact in the last round, so it may not necessarily be too much of a loss. 4-round advantage. Achieved once again, a Mono in an aggressive position. I don't think Faven realizes almost. Loses life, goes back for a 5 versus k1to, and I almost feel like it would have been better to just take that man advantage and try and fall back. Instead, a 4 versus 4 with limited utility to try and stop any of these aggressive positions is now Gonna leave Illuminar in a disadvantage once again.
Smoke set up outside. For Sprout, Stomp in an aggressive situation might have a good angle here. You can flash this angle off. There we go, that's the perfect flashbang. Nice, nicely done. That's perfect for Sprout.
Well set up, it leaves Reeds with a lot to do. He's actually gonna get 2 from the electric box though. Searson will be there to put him down. And there is still Oscarish just waiting for a rotation to come in from Innocent. He has the flank. Spiddy's turned away just at the wrong time. He's going to face in. Now knows that there's a man there, but with 25 seconds left, they have to get their move on. They try and get towards the site. It's left onto Spiddy once again in the clutch. And he has brought it into the 1 versus 1. The 2 players you'd want, but it's Innocent to close it out. Again, a very close round. And again, this man leads the way for Illuminar.
Reeds, such a huge play. I feel like Sprout do everything right strategically. Like they go for the play outside. They have the smoke side lined up. They have the nice flashbang to clear the mid 5 and 6 angle. They get that frag opening, and then somehow, some way, Reeds is allowed to pick up a double frag from the E-box position, even though they have the perfect setup and they have cleared the angles that they want. It's unfortunate for them because I felt like they did their homework. The execute was very good, but somehow, some way, allowed Reeds to get in and make the difference that round.
This is now the way to get back into it as well. A couple of SMGs, and normally we talk about money making, but the real reason they have them is because they don't have any of their own.
Yeah, you gotta play with what you have. And for this round, it's not the best for the CTs, but Oscarish here on Ivy, even with the help rotating in from Innocent. Nicely done. No real worries here. Keto, of course, always get 1 with the deke.
I feel like
it's a guarantee.
It's like that Spider-Man meme of like, everybody gets 1.
Yeah. Keto will always get 1. Pressure's on for Sprout. Coach communicating a little bit. This is not a timeout, just like in the freeze time talk. I think that's such a nice addition, and I feel like that should be standard in every single tournament. Again, my opinion, people can have other opinions, that's fine, but I feel like that's definitely the right way to do it, the way that DreamHack has done it in the rule set for these tournaments.
Is that just because you like to talk when your team are playing?
No, I'm not coaching anymore, Tom. So it's been a good year since I last went on the coaching role.
A good year for the team. Oh, already. CT side off to a flying start. It's only going to be the SMG, a peek in, a bit risky from Mono and taking so much damage. He is still going to be able to do the damage with that UMP. Keep coming back out from Searson, misses the shot. Mono's gone huge in this round. 3 kills to his name, and only Dennis remaining with 20 HP, going on a long flank all the way back around.
This is very demoralizing for Sprout if Dennis cannot make this miracle happen, which is very unlikely at this point. They're going to be on a couple of pistols, potentially even a force buy, but still not the best of scenarios economy-wise, while the CT side, if they can actually even throw away one of these weapons, that's fine.
He's got a good chance for 2 kills, though. As Stomp's looking in the wrong direction,
yeah.
It's mainly onto Oscarish. There's the free kill.
All right, now they know where you are, where he is. There's 32 seconds, they have the bomb control. There's no way Illuminar should lose this. Like, there's absolutely no way. They should just wait for him to take the bomb, just sit in corners where you can't really get peeked on, and then be ready to react when/if he plants the bomb. They get it done even before that. Picks up the AWP. I think they should have 2 weapons coming in, and that should be enough to get a full buy going with full utility on all CT players. Then the T side will have to decide if they want to go for a force or an eco.
Well, this is definitely one of the more interesting spread of frags I think I've ever seen on Sprout. They're trying to keep it very even. 17, 17, 16, 16, 16. That's mad.
That is actually mad. And they do go for the full eco here, as you can see the money not looking very good. You could go for Deagle Force, maybe even with the Scout or some Mac-10s if you wanted to, but the correct choice is exactly what they've done here. Not really much to do in this round here for Sprout. They're going to have to almost sit at the sidelines and wait until Illuminar get on to 12. Faven trying to do some cheeky plays with the taser. but not gonna. I don't think they're gonna be successful. They need like a magic deagle shot from Keto, which he probably will get. No, didn't get a deagle kill, Tom.
Yeah, he died, but Tennis got it instead. He passed on the magic. And in fact, Searson's actually got one with the Glock. This is surprisingly large amount of damage considering. And actually both Mono and Oscarish are tagged, so it shouldn't be possible. It's not possible.
Oh yeah. But if he can get one kill here, that would be nice.
Okay.
Or the bomb plant.
Rifle. Bomb plant, there's no way unless he kills someone and well, decides to go with the Glock instead.
That's nice.
It will be stomped to eventually close it down. 12-12, scoreline equalized. A streak of rounds coming in from Illuminar. Innocent currently top of the board, 27 kills. That was before this round began.
He's been playing out of his mind this game.
And actually, Mono's, this is his best performance, I think, hands down. Like, much better from him. Stomp's been
ADR.
fairly quiet. Which, again, he seems to be pretty hit and miss within the server. Well, this time it's going to be a hit. Gets that opening pick on Taquito, a fast flick. Has the support of Mono as well, just waiting to throw out the incendiary if the T's are going to try and barrel into that B site. But for now, again, it just looks like more of a default round, trying to gain different portions of the map, gain some control.
Lining up for the B play here. Lots of smokes, 2 already drawn, 3 drawn now. The T side can get the full swarm going. 1 for connector, flashbang down towards lower. 1 for the cross. Drop down, good nade though for Stomp. This is a big opportunity for him. Misses the shot though, Mono is ready and waiting.
Yeah, both players actually go down. It's Innocent, who's actually rotated in quick enough that they don't expect him to be this far forward. Even going to be looking to try and deny the plant. He's a little bit late, and Searson hits the shot with the AWP. Still a possibility here for the T side. This round definitely isn't over just yet. Searson once again peeks out and gets the pick and leaves Oscarish alone.
That's
holding that
nice
secondary AWP.
That's such a nice pick from Searson. Great reactions. It's great decision making with the angle.
Might is just going to be the save in the end. Keep that up into the next round. The money not great for the side of Illuminar, and after streaking a fair few rounds together, they've destroyed that loss bonus.
Nice execute from Sprout as well. Everything was down to a T. They had the connector smoke going down. They had the drop down smoke onto upper. That can kind of help you cross and get that bomb down. They had the good post plant positions. They won both their opening duels onto the side. Like, you can't really ask for anything more as a T-side team.
Especially when you consider that Illuminar actually had the correct read. They had 3 players within the B site. You had the AWP watching the ramp. You had a nade bouncing as well. You had up close Mono ready to spray them down. And although, yeah, again, you're going to give props over to Sprout, you have to take something away from Illuminar there. Like, your AWP needs to connect 1. Mono probably needs to get 1 as well, especially if you're both looking at the same place. How do neither of them get a kill in that scenario? That's just not acceptable. And yeah, Sprout get away with it a little bit, but again, they're hitting all their shots when they get into the site. They take the lead back. Well, they're not that far away.
And you could almost see it when Innocent came in and tried to make it happen. Like, he almost did it on his own. Not good enough though, and Illuminar will be on this kind of semi-quasi-buy. They will have enough money to get everything going in the next one. But this one will also be kind of a chance with Oscarish on the AWP, Stomp on the Scout, Deagle on an Innocent. This is not a bad round for the CT side, but they have decided to stack onto the Ivy area, which is not the focus for the T's. Mono once again gives his position away. There's no way he survives this.
Yeah, considering he was the lone defender. Stomp has rotated in with a Scout, but this round is looking like a no-show. Could probably just start to save the AWP. The rest of the weapons are just going to try and reduce the amount of weaponry that's kept by the T side, but in reality, this is going to be a fairly easy 14th round for Sprout.
Definitely. Also very important to survive with 5 players, because if we look at their economy, 2 players with no money, 3 players with around like 1,500. Oh, nice from Keto. 2 HP survival for him. Good job. Oscar is so far away, he won't even be like in contention for this one. And of course, if you're wondering how it can be possible to have 13 kills in 24 ADI, it's of course because of the server restart. So pay no mind to the ADR.
Basically, what they've decided to do is take your average ADR stats from your matches and just put it onto the players instead.
See, the joke's on you because I haven't played CS in the last 3 weeks. So there are no stats.
About the same as normal then.
You know I always carry you, Tom. It is what it is. I just don't play Mirage.
I don't think it's that bad.
That's like your opinion, man. Faven with the AK will try and move in. Innocent, smoke left side, T-side smokes are landing. What will he do here? Push through? He actually will. That's a big chance to take. Innocent, he will be shut down. Sprout now with a big chance. Is this the buy from Illuminar?
Oh, Dennis. A great pick to get them back in, and I almost wonder if this is going to be falling into a save once again. The double orb setup has done nothing. They've just been smoked out. Finally, Stomp will be able to get one, and it almost worries me that this might give them that almost false hope of getting back into this round. It's going to be so tough to clear all these remaining angles. Mono is going to go peeking in. I don't see them getting back into this. I think this is just them throwing weaponry away. The bomb's so far ticked. They haven't spotted any of the remaining players out. They're all sitting passively as well. Like, how in reality do they actually take this round? And, well, they're just going to get picked apart. Eventually, Mono will go down, and they'll just have to fall back. The T's are even going to start hunting down some of these weapons. Didn't really see the value of that risk.
They lost one player to it, but it could have been much worse. Denied one weapon as well on the T side. But no, I kind of agree with you. When the bomb timer is that low, you need a miracle. And sometimes it's smartest to plan for not getting the miracle. Which kind of sounds pessimistic, but that is the logical choice in this scenario.
Is it just me, or does the coach of Sprout look a little bit like Vendetta in disguise?
You're not wrong. I can guarantee you that he's not Norwegian, though.
Probably German?
Probably German. Find out.
You got any more German to show us? I know you like to show off.
What do you want?
What do I want? How do you say?
It's of course NK.
Declan, go and get us some Chipotle.
Declan, die Talentmanager, ich wünsche Chipotle aus der Kasterdesk, bitte.
Okay, I'm going to assume that was correct.
You can ask Sprout.
You can ask Sprout. They're always watching. Especially now, 15 and 12 up on that T side, looking to try and take this over the line.
MP9 on that line for Mono. This is going to be an important round for both teams. Sprout with a chance finally to bring this one back and get something done in the series, bring us to a third map. But then again, not a bad buy for Illuminar. Stomp needs to hit something, and, well, he hits the edge with the grenade.
Himself. You can't beat yourself up, Risk. You know that.
That's just unfortunate. That is just unfortunate.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't been his map, and when your AWP doesn't perform on train, it's always going to be a problem. Reeds, however, is going to get that opening pick, and more importantly, takes an important position away from this T side as they look to try and push in. The first map went to overtime, and Illuminar took it over the line. We'll see if they could do it once again. Dennis tagged as they make their way towards this A site, trying to wrap around the back of the train. Stomp is stuck in an aggressive position, but again, he's going to miss the shot. He gives them an opening back in. Innocent is there to rectify it, and he turns up with a double. Needs that little bit more, but Keto puts him down. However, both players tagged. Oscarish on the edge of the smoke doesn't know that Dennis is here, but luckily Mono is there, and Oscarish can close the round. 13-15, the T's are still going to be buying back in.
I think if they had any more pauses, just take one to get Stomp, just to like lower his heart rate a little bit, because he seems so stressed in this round. Like, missed the nade, and in that situation with the AWP, missed the shot as well. He seemed like there's so much pressure on him. He actually also switches to the shotgun now, just to have something else than an AWP. Even though Oscar has the AWP, Stomp is saying, no, mate, I'm playing the shotgun this round. Oscar, he just missed potential now, because this This is several players from Sprout using a lot of their money. Bought all the way down to $300 for Keto and Dennis. Backs against the wall for Illuminar as they have been. This is the second round in a row now. Stomp. He's gonna be fine with the shotgun, the XM in the position in Pop Dog. That's fine. That's not really a big problem.
It's just if they take anywhere else on the map, he's gonna have to show his true skill with the XM. There are only a few maestros of it. I am probably not one of them.
Probably not.
A minute left on the clock. Still a lot of utility for Sprout to use as they make their way back towards Ivy. It's only really Innocent as the defender of it. The others are far more aggressive in their positions on the A site. And again, it seems like he's going to have a decent job to do. Then again, 32 kills on the board at the moment. His ADR in the few rounds that we've had since the server crash is actually more than some people get in an entire match.
True.
He's going to be ready and waiting. Searson, though, watching the edge of that smoke. Actually going to be throwing down another one. Waiting for the peak to come in and hits the shot as well. An important one. 20 seconds left, and the bomb's going to go down. Reeds a little bit late to try and counter it. Searson has caught another one, and this is looking like the beginning of the end. Oscarish alongside Stomp. That XM maybe perfectly placed, but he just can't hit the shots today. It has not been his map whatsoever. Oscarish left alone. Nice shot, but he can't do anything. Sprout are going to take us to a third map. Mirage will be coming up shortly. And well, you have to feel like that may have been the real opportunity for Illuminar to close that one out. They had the chances, that was for sure.
Yeah, big chances for Illuminar, but not able to clutch it out and get it in the end. Sprout will have another chance, have another day to fight on Mirage, which we talked about. It's probably going to be a 50-50 map. Like, both teams could definitely win that. Both teams have the advantage, no, not the advantage, but the level of play to definitely give us a good match there.
Well, either way, with both teams going in with the advantage, we'll be back after the break.